Hello futurists, and welcome to my second review for the Future Movie Gang. This time I'll be covering, I think, only the third Steven Spielberg movie that I've seen. Yes, I haven't seen that many of these movies, but hey, I've seen a few great ones. Anyways, we'll be diving into the VR world of Ready Player One, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Ty Sheridan, Olivia Cooke, Ben Mendelsohn, and Mark Rylance. It follows the character Wade Watts, played by Sheridan, as he dives into the Oasis, a VR world with the hopes of finding the highly sought after Golden Egg, which enables the user full control of the Oasis. With the help of his friends, the High Five, they fight against a tyrannical corporation that also hunts for the egg, both hoping to gain control of the Oasis. It's a very enjoyable movie. As it goes with most modern sci-fi movies, the visuals are absolutely stunning. The Oasis really bolsters the visuals in the movie. The greatest parts of the film take place during Wade's time in the Oasis. For instance, the race scene, where you see a bunch of cars that you might have seen in other great films, like the DeLorean, the Batmobile, and Akira's bike. High Five's exploration into pop culture was actually really interesting. You don't have to have a high level of knowledge with pop culture to enjoy the movie, and that's great. However, I'm pretty sure hardcore moviegoers would get more of a kick out of those cameos. The acting was fine across the board. I didn't really see a false note within the crowd. A light-hearted movie filled with likable characters, superb action scenes, and of course, amazing visuals. So, I would probably rate the movie an 8 out of 10. And yes, I would recommend the film. Alrighty, futurists, now that we've talked about what an enjoyable visual spectacle that was, let's get into the nitty-gritty future concept side of things. Another way to describe VR could be via the term cyberspace. The definition of cyberspace could be seen as a consensual hallucination that is experienced by billions of users in every country. Its complexity is due to the comparison being made to data that is extracted from computers, almost like data being extracted from the human system. Furthermore, they could be described as light rays within the mind or clusters of data that move around the mind. As the majority of the film takes place within the Oasis, users all over the world use the vast, infinite space that's readily available at their fingertips. The culture of cyberspace could be a way of socially organizing oneself as a mirror of their social media presence. Throughout the film, the users are creating avatars that represent themselves within the Oasis. The film makes a joke that Olivia Cooke's character Artemis could be some fat guy living in a basement. However, seeing Artemis in real life, Samantha, it turns out she's just as beautiful and courageous as her VR counterpart. As time goes by, technology combined with human ingenuity leads to a more social change. Regardless of how restrictive regulations or repercussions can be, the communities around the world have thought of immense amounts of creativity. They've done so much and have successfully avoided technological constraints with the hope of achieving their freedom. Of course, the Oasis is the highlight of the film. However, Wade's real-life home, the Stacks, is where the need for creativity is birthed. The name originates from the hundreds of trailers that are stacked on top of each other and next to each other. They're held together with pipes, beams, and DIY girders. The Stacks creation was created in order to reserve labor and resources. Cheap construction and overcrowding inevitably led to high levels of crime. With the constantly increasing amount of social innovation, dubbed the technologicals of liberation, there aren't any forms of technology that have grown with such speed and reach in such a short amount of time. The ongoing innovations in electronic communications like VR are constantly reaching further and further. So where are we today on VR? Well, VR is on the forefront of technologies that have the highest potential for growth. According to multiple different forecasts, investment in VR will multiply exponentially within the next 4 years, potentially reaching over 20 billion Australian dollars. Furthermore, the VR technology could potentially be crucial to companies' transformation in the digital field. For instance, there are already multiple different VR headsets that will be hopefully released to the public next year. You have Sony's PlayStation VR, Apple's VR, and the controversial Meta Next Gen VR. Furthermore, there could be also joint ventures from other great tech companies that have established themselves within the field, such as Microsoft, HTC, and Valve. Sony's VR headset is expected to arrive this year and will require a PlayStation 5 to operate it. The only issue is that it's expected to cost as much as the console itself. It's actually quite funny because it's already hard enough to get a PS5 without having to completely empty out your wallet. Alrighty futurists, I hope you enjoyed my take on Ready Player One. Apparently they're making a sequel titled Ready Player 2. I haven't read the book that's been made for it, but apparently it's bad. Anyways, as always, if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and leave a like, subscribe, and of course, leave a comment. Feedback is what I'm really looking for. It helps me improve my content and connect with you futurists. So, maybe tell me what other cool sci-fi movies you're into and would like me to review. Okay, futurists, I'll see you in the future.